Yo yo. I wanted to make an observance, and I love history and studying the evolution of La Regla de Ocha. So, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. No, in the beginning, thrones were extremely simple. Thrones were literally a white sheet, a white sheet on the wall, a white sheet on the ceiling. That was it. And when I say in the beginning, I'm talking about the 1860s. In the beginning, orishas were celebrated on the floor. Now we have, you know, orishas on pilons and whatnot. They need to elevate them and make Obatala higher than everyone else. In the beginning, orishas were all on the floor. Why? The idea was the orishas born on the floor, the orishas eat on the floor, and the orishas are celebrated on the floor. That's fine and dandy. In the beginning, orishas were born and lived in jicaras. And I recently heard, at least from Natalia Bolivar, I don't know if she was referring to Palo, but it was an Orisha-based event or speaking engagement. Ibae to her. She wasn't crowned, but she was a big influence. God bless her. That Orisha were like put in sako and put into trees, I guess maybe to hide, maybe the slaves, to hide their santo. Jicaras, that's what was used. Why do I say all this? Now, in the last year and a half, I want to say, maybe it's been longer and I just never noticed, but AI has, I think, changed the landscape of Ocha. Why do I say that? I was scrolling through TikTok and I see soperas with AI imagery on the sopera. A face, like faces that we see. Sometimes it's just a face, sometimes it's the whole body. The actual pilon itself has a face or a body of these AI images. We've all seen it. We've been to tambores and seen it on TikTok. AI entire panels, pañuelos, with AI generated images of Orisha personified. We've all seen it, but now something I just saw today for the first time in my life was soperas with AI images printed onto the sopera, so that so you have a person's face on it. So we went from having just a plain white sheet on the wall for a trono to an entire background of an AI generated Orisha person image. We went from jicaras to chinaware, jicaras to terracotta, to chinaware, now to super fancy chinaware, and now you can go on Etsy and Amazon. Well, just Etsy, I guess, a TikTok, and you can purchase for yourself, for your own santos, if you feel so inclined. If you like the style, you can purchase soperas with AI images on it. In the beginning, background trono was just a white sheet. Now you can have an entire background of an AI image Orisha with the forest and maybe Ogun holding a rooster, Obatalan, Ochun together, sitting down together. You just got to tell the person, oh, my crown is Ochun and my father is Chango. There's an AI generated background panel for that. If there's not, then you can just get custom made. You want to have a volcano, your crown is Agayu, and you want to have a tambor, and you want volcanoes blowing up in the background, your crown is Ochun, and you want waterfalls in the background, you can have that. Another evolution that I've seen is the painted face eleguaces, where it's just you go to the botanica. That's another thing. It's going out and buying an elegua. But now people are using painted, half black, half red eleguaces and bringing that to their padrino or their babalao, and that's what's getting consecrated. So now you have painted eleguaces. I'm not saying what I agree with, what I disagree with. I'm just saying that these are observances that I've made. Another thing is the evolution of what we would consider to be like decoration. It used to be, I mean, in the beginning, there was no decoration. It was just a hikara, and you tried to hide your shit because you didn't want no one coming, police coming into your house. So you had to make everything discreet. Fast forward to today, there are people that just keep their rishas in like from floor to ceiling, beautiful, magnificent, just I don't even know how to call it. It's just full of masks and beadwork or metal work, things that never existed. Now we can, we can order crowns for. I could order a crown for Ochun that'll cost me $2,000, and it's made out of metal and has, friggin' vultures and shit coming out of it. Things that never existed. Now we have TikTok and Etsy, and we can sell our wares, and it's a lot. But the point of this video, I really wanted to focus on AI. That AI has influenced the I think it's somewhat of a turning point. It moved the needle a little forward. Some would say backwards. I'm personally not a fan of all this AI stuff being used within Tronos. I think it's interesting. I think there's a desire, dare I say, a need for people to connect with Santo via having a physical personification of Ochanla. In the beginning, it was no statues of a Santo. You wanted to represent Ochun, you had la caridad de cobre. That's it. Now, in the past 10 years, it was, now there's these, the Ochun, with the pumpkin on her head, the mulata looking light-skinned lady in the dress, and the Elegua, the little black man with, holding his hands up here with the Elegua on his head. Now we have AI. And now we could see, okay, so what does Echu B look like versus Echu Alaguana versus Echu Laroye versus Echu Agrielu? What does Ochun look like generally? And now we have AI, and people saying, this is a description of Ochun Ibu Kole, and then Ibu Yumu, Ibu Anya, Ibu Akwaro. And we have different images that are AI generated, and Ibu Kole with a big old vulture behind her, and some of these images, they move, and it gives a bit of a stronger connection to that Orisha, insofar as it's giving you something to visualize. I think human beings are just visual creatures, and it's been interesting. But keep in mind that we are, this is an evolution of this entire religion. These things did not exist. AI, I don't recall any of this existing a year ago, maybe a year and a half. Like these things, it's like full speed ahead now. Maybe in the last 3 years. I remember maybe 2 years ago, I went to a tambor for a chosi. It was in a big hall in Philadelphia, and they had a giant AI generated Ochosi panel at the entrance to celebrate. And you could see Tronos with entire murals of Yamaya and whoever, just a woman standing there, personified, the Santo personified. And these same images are being used on soperas now. I've never seen that. Imprinted into the sopera, as well as into the pilon. As well as, now people have these little red and black houses that they keep their elegua and things that never existed before. A little house for elegua. Indoors, which it would have been just a little wooden makeshift little shack for your warriors to stay outside, because the warriors, they originally were outside. Now you can get AI image imprinting of a little black child dressed in red and black on a little house for your elegua. I'd like to make a note. Notice how this is not happening within Voodoo or the 21 divisions or Candomblé, or maybe a little bit of Candomblé. But La Regla de Ocha, my hypothesis is simply it's more profitable. That's the word. It's more profitable. Now more than ever, La Regla de Ocha is a giant business where people make thousands of dollars. And this is one more way for people to make thousands and thousands of dollars. Oh, and AI generations on cake. What used to be just a homemade thing. Now you could put AI generated stuff on cake. So I'm not saying that all this AI stuff within Ocha is bad. I'm just saying it's different, and recognize the evolution of where we've been and now to where we are. Maybe, shit, what is it going to be next? What is it going to be next?